Hi, all. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Ajila here, and as promised, I'm here with another guest. So, today I have a doctor from a different background. This is Dr. Sheena, who is an internal medicine specialist from Emirates Hospital, Dubai. Welcome, Dr. Sheena.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to have you because you're one of my favorite person in Dubai as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can relax. You don't have to worry. This is going to be a very casual talking. They're going to share about your experiences of coming to Dubai and how that's going to impact or help other young medical aspirers to come to Dubai or move anywhere else or just build their career in this field. Okay, so let's start with your background. So you are an internal medicine specialist. So what led you to pursue that?
So basically, I wanted to do internal medicine because my dad's a family medicine doctor, and I saw the way he was taking care of the patients. Internal medicine is more like a patient-doctor relationship. It's more like a bond, and the more comfortable they get, the more you get the healthier. Yeah. So it was more of a comfortable job, and I like helping people, and so I thought this is the best specialty I could pick. And I'm pretty happy that I've chosen this path.
You're happy. Yes, I'm hearing. So you mentioned that your dad is a doctor. So, and I also know that your dad owns a hospital back in your country, in South India. So tell us why you chose to move to Dubai rather than staying there, working in your hospital like a boss.
So, coming from a South Indian family, you always have the shadow of your dad and your mom trying to help you all your life. So, but I wanted a name to myself. So, I thought if I leave India, the comfort zone that I had back in India, to pursue something different and see whether I can do better, why not?
Absolutely. That makes so much of sense, and it takes a lot of courage to do that because not many people will come out of their comfort zone. I think we must give you a huge applause for that.
Thank you.
So, how long have you been now in Dubai?
I've been like 3 years now. So then I moved here around the end of Jan 2000, around 2021. And now it's been like 3.5 years now in Dubai.
Amazing.
It's good, doing pretty good.
Amazing. So, let's come to the main part. So, what were the biggest fears when you moved to Dubai?
My biggest fear would be exactly the first thing, coming out of the shadow of your family. You're a nobody here to start with. You don't know how far you're going to go with an Indian degree.
Yeah.
You don't know anybody here. You don't have anyone to refer you on a job. So it's purely merit based and luck based. And if God helps you,
Yes.
make it in life. So from what I noticed in this country, just pure talent doesn't help you. You need a little bit of luck, a little bit of God, and a little bit of talent all put together to make it big here. And yeah. So I think the one thing which scared me a lot when I came here was, would I make it?
I think this is a very important point and a good answer that you give because this is a question or a query that I get from many of my followers in my DMs because many people want to come to Dubai, but they don't know where to start and they have a lot of fears, just like the ones you said, and they don't know what it actually takes to get a job here. Many feel, disappointed by struggling to find a job here. So it pretty much sums up whatever you mentioned right now.
Because I was working in Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalifa Hospital to start with, and I still remember, in spite of having a job with a good salary, I used to just sit by the beach, sometimes just thinking about what I'm doing here. Why am I here? I have no friends here. Everything is new to me because I've born and raised in India. So everything was new to me. The whole concept of Dubai and Abu Dhabi, all the fancy things and everything was very new to me. And we come from a culture where being a doctor is more about sacrifice. It's about working all day long. There's no time for ourselves. There's no weekends. There's no annual leave.
Yeah.
And then you come to a new country and different. Exactly. It's a cultural shock. It is a cultural shock.
I know. I was like, wait, am I even doing the work of a doctor? Actually, that question comes, right?
Yeah. But I appreciate the fight. I'm very blessed to be working here because for the first time here, I get to have a work-life balance.
Yes.
Yeah. I have more mental stability.
Yes.
Because I
Don't be at work.
yeah, more peace at work, and people are very respected. And they're thankful.
Yes.
They're really thankful. Like, They give you nice flowers. They hang it through from the bottom of your heart. And it makes your job worthwhile.
It's very true. You get that satisfaction, right? Correct. So, what was the most frustrating part of you when you was trying to find a job here on the licensing process? What was most frustrating part that you went through?
Lucky for me, maybe I did not have much of a difficulty getting in to Dubai or getting a job. It was not planned. I did not actually plan to establish a career here. I was working in Apollo Hospitals in Chennai. I was doing a good job. It was a lot of pressure on my work. So physically and mentally, I was not doing so good. So I just needed to get out of India, try something new. I moved here, finished my license exams. And then it was COVID at that time. Yeah. And me being an intensivist at that point.
It was a good opportunity.
Yeah. So there was a lot of need for doctors who are specialized in intensive care. So it was easy for me to get in. But if it's a newcomer, what I can say now, someone who's trying now, it is a bit difficult.
Yes.
The population has been diluted a lot by loads of people from UK,
Correct.
Lebanon, Syria, from everywhere.
Foreign qualification and is very much diluted.
So Western culture, Western board gets paid a lot. There's no tax. It's much safer to live. There's no crime. There's a lot of respect. So, and a work-life balance also. So it's pretty diluted. For someone coming from India, it'll be a little bit hard. But you have to keep trying. And I'm pretty sure because there's lots of successful Indian doctors here.
So many. As you have very much valued than many other doctors.
Because, so I don't think the race or the education board or whatever matters. It's just that you have to not think about what's going to happen. Just get in. If you want to get in, just get in and move further. And you will definitely find a job. If it is meant to be, it will happen.
The hard work and the luck is the
luck always.
Yeah. That's one thing, especially in this country. That's one thing I noticed.
So don't you think it's always about luck, too? Wherever you go.
That's true. Yeah, it's very true.
Even in school, if you've seen, you would have had 10 students who studied with you. Probably there was one person who was the best. And you thought he would make it big in life. I know. But then unfortunately, they would not.
Yes. So that's always the ones that was the backbender might have gone to start something of their own and then created something very different.
Yes, very true.
And this world is very competitive.
So it's being competitive and always be competitive.
Correct. And so in that way, we need to really make us a unique brand to market ourselves in this society is what I personally felt.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Doctors didn't have to market us before.
Yeah.
It was even a crime back for market doctors.
Yeah.
But now society have become such that the evolution, the social media and addressing, we have to market ourselves. When we go somewhere, we look into the Google, we check the business profile, and that's when we go.
Even patients are coming like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So
that's the new world.
Correct. So let's move to another question. So what are you thinking about the job market right now in Dubai?
For the healthcare professionals, again, it depends on where you're educated from. If you're a Western board, then you have high-end recruiters who would pick you up. Easy. The job is easy. But if you come from Indian board, it is a bit tough. It is a bit tough. But if you can still stand out and prove yourself, then you can get a good job. Yeah. Just have to keep looking. The first job would be a little bit difficult. Once you get in, then it's a lot easier.
And you think your experience matters more than the qualification, or how is it?
Context matters.
I love that answer because networking. I keep screaming on my social media about networking and people wonder why. This is the answer.
The context matters.
Yeah, true. And makes a lot of difference in this country and not just in this profession, be it any profession, the networking and the leverage that you get when you know people from different society backgrounds and things like that makes a huge difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Always networking.
And let's come to the next question. So, do you think that there is a leverage for a particular speciality in this country, or is it safe for all?
Depends on which part of Dubai you live in.
Okay. I know where this answer is going. Third, yes. Towards the Jumeirah side, just where you're working.
Towards the Jumeirah side, it's mostly aesthetics. Yeah. So Dubai is always big for plastic surgeries.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's the richest of the rich who would like to look perfect. So aesthetics, plastic surgery, dermatology is something which
Do you think at some point it's going to get saturated, like oversaturated?
with dermatology?
Yes.
No,
No, not at the part.
no. Because people from all over the world come here to get beauty procedures done.
Mm.
All the celebrities, all the A-listed celebrities come here. So it's never gonna be saturated. If you're good at what you do, you're just gonna be very successful.
Just that who is on front of the race, that's the difference going to be, right? The aesthetic clinic, the race between, there's number of clinics in Dubai. So it's just going to be a matter of fact that which clinic is doing well at a point of time. That's all.
Which clinic can attract more celebrities?
Yeah.
Which clinic can have more social media platform?
That sounds true.
Yes, those clinic would probably make the best. But again, it's not a specialty which is ever going to go down in Dubai. No.
Correct. So I've also seen that you've done a master's in health administration, right? So tell us about that. So why did you choose to do that?
So I come from a background where my mom and my dad together, they own a college. Okay, so we have a nursing college, we have so we have a technical college, and we have a teachers training college. So it has around students of 1,500. So, and my brother also helps now. So yeah, so he's running the whole show since I'm not here. He's helping with my dad and mom. So at some point, I also need to step in and then help. So I thought having a master's would really help me. Plus, something that I've noticed after coming here, I'm fascinated by all these CEO and C.
Absolutely. At some point, even I thought that rather than going for a postgraduate, why don't I do that and be head of some corporate here?
So respectful, the job, and they're not even doctors.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
so it's such a respect.
Even doctors, like not just MBBS, BDS doctors or things like that, they end up doing masters in healthcare and switch to this profession.
Yes. So I want to keep my roots in India. I want to make the whatever my dad's and mom's dream much bigger if I can be a part of that also. Plus, if I get a chance somewhere to make my own, then yes, I think the masters would definitely help me.
Okay, so that is the reason why you chose to take the master's in health administration. So what do you in general have to tell to these young students about the non-clinical fields in healthcare? Like, because there is kind of an aversion towards that, and it's kind of feels like you are secondary when you go for that. So what do you have to tell about that?
Non-clinical fields, it is a good option for people who don't like to have contact with the patient.
Patients, yeah.
So if you think you're very good at teaching, I think you would prefer that.
Good.
But for someone who would like to take up a profession and be like a healthcare worker, taking care of patients, treating them, I don't think many people would like that.
Good.
That is why I think a lot of people don't like it, because as a doctor, we prefer to have more of a patient contact. Do the work, be on the ground, do the things. So I think that most of the seats in India is not being taken. I've heard like anatomy, biochemistry, pathology, no. But if you're someone who would love to teach, it's a beautiful subject.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I struggle so much with biochemistry.
Yes. Yeah, tell me who doesn't.
I wish we had better way of teaching. So if you're such a good teacher, you can inspire more people to get into this. I think as a teacher, you should step in and do that.
Yeah.
But you should know your niche. If you think you're good with patients, so why don't take a clinical course? If you think you are good with teaching, why don't you take a non-clinical course?
That's true. But I feel that like even if somebody in the scenario in India, wherever, somebody who's done MBBS and they want to choose a non-clinical field, back in their mind or somewhere around in the society, they are considered to be, oh, they didn't get that, that's why they're taking this.
Yes.
Do you think that notion is wrong, or what do you have to comment on that?
See, first of all, being a doctor, it's so much of hard work.
Yes.
You have to be in so much of population India with so many few colleges. It's such a big struggle to even get into the field. Yeah, you know how hard it is.
Absolutely. Still struggling, yes.
And then if they choose to do what they want to do, I don't think there's no point in even trying to shadow it or trying to like judge them based on what they do. Everyone has to pick what they like, pick what they choose, and just be good with it. So I think all these judging and everything should come down. And they should respect whatever subject they take. Like me, for instance, I thought I wanted to do dermatology. But because I'm a person who likes to have this adrenaline, so is why I was like, okay, I don't want to be there and look at an acne and think, there is this. Sounds so stupid, but yeah, and prescribe steroids. Now I regret for not doing that because I would have made a good dermatologist, I think. So I don't think we should.
And yeah, in this scenario of this aesthetic, yeah, how is this going on?
Yeah, so I don't think we should be judging them. Again, if you're so good at teaching, I would definitely think they should take non-medical, not clinical courses. Thereby they can inspire more kids to do that. Thereby, because that's a very important subject. That is the basis and the foundation of
Absolutely.
all the departments that they have. Yes?
Yes.
So I think it should also not be considered like a taboo taking those subjects.
Correct. I think that's a very good, note that you've given to the kids out there, because it will give them a strength to go ahead to pursue that, because they don't want to, okay, the society is demanding this, then let's go for that. That is one thing that I had to come to the next question. There's a lot of pressure for the young students who pass out of MBBS, and you know the struggles of passing out of MBBS. After that, to go pursue PG, go for the run for the NEET PG and things like that. So what do you have to tell about that?
Again, please don't give in to the pressure. It's not the society which pays your bills. It's not the society which does anything for you. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your mental and physical health. You need to do what you love.
Yeah.
I think the younger generation should learn this, because we've all been taught to just constantly go through this pressure of making people around us happy, not being judged, keeping the neighbors happy, keeping your neighbors happy. But I think we should stop all that and just choose the things that we are good at.
And don't you think it takes time to understand what we actually want, and not somebody just a 20-year-old or 18-year-old will, actually know what they want exactly?
No, I don't think I knew what I wanted when I was 18 years old. No. Fortunately, I like my job now, but there must be a lot of people who don't actually like it.
Yes, absolutely.
But they don't know how to switch to a different job.
Yeah.
So I think in every school, they should have like a department where you can go sit and counsel, and they give you various choices of what you're good at, probably find a niche and then move to that, rather than everybody being a doctor than engineer.
Yeah, very true, very true. Because there wasn't even a question of another career choice at that point of time. If you're a girl, you're a doctor. If you're a boy, you're an engineer. You take any household. I think the scenario might be different at your home because you own a business. Maybe that too was an option for you guys, but for us, no.
No. So I think everybody should start taking up what they like. Say if you do things what you like, you're going to grow in it. You're going to shine. You don't need people to push you, and you're going to be happy. So when I look back, there's a very nice saying that I could be like, so someday in life, don't try to make anyone else happy. Just see if you're 8-year-old, you and as an 8-year-old, or you as an 80-year-old would be happy with what you do.
Yes. And one more thing that I understood during the course of this growth through this medical journey is that you never know that this is what you exactly wanted, in the sense that your priorities or your liking will change in the process of your evolution. Yes, right. So what if somebody has chosen to become a doctor, and after MBBS, they've struggled, they've done their job and cleared the exams, but at a point of time, they are confused about their career. And there are many people out there like that. And what do you have to tell about them? And what do you think? Because once you are a doctor, that MBBS degree is so valid, not like any other profession. You can't think about doing anything else. So what do you think can such people think about it to make out of their career?
Sit down alone, think about it. Maybe take a piece of paper, write down what you actually want.
Yes.
Probably tick on the things that make you happy and tick on the things which don't make you happy.
Yeah.
If you think you can do better without this profession, you can stop and whatever you're good at.
Correct.
Yeah, that will take a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of approval.
Yes.
Yeah. It takes a lot of people that you have to consider also. But again,
A loss of money.
loss of money, loss of your time.
Yeah.
But if you're not happy with it, why are you doing it? Yeah. This profession is about keeping yourself mentally also healthy, because it's a giving job. Every day you see people who you have to give. It's not just writing a prescription and writing a medication. It's about getting to know them on a personal level.
Empathy.
Yes, the empathy. the passion, the drive to help them each day. So if you don't want to do that, and if you are not mentally happy, how are you going to do that?
Correct.
So if you want to quit and if you want to change your profession, if there is something which is bothering you, sit down, take a deep breath, think what you want. And if you want to, you can change. It's 2025.
Yes.
It can be whatever you want. Yeah, you just need to manifest it.
Also, now coming to the career-wise, so right now, what do you think are the other options available for the young doctors other than the NEET PG and is good for their career? Like, what do you think? Do you like moving to another country or getting a foreign qualification like UK, US, or Australia? Like, what do you think about that?
UK has always been a treat to a lot of people, but I heard NHS is not doing so good as there's loads of doctor moving from UK to Dubai.
Yes.
The well-educated, experienced doctors, because they don't get paid well, they're overworked. They be transferred to different places, and no one's happy. US, yes, it would be a great choice for you. If you were thinking to move to a different country, but I would suggest doing it as fast as you can and as soon as you can. When you're doing your MBBS, you can start doing your USMLE, prepare for it, and go do your post-graduation in another country.
Yeah, so that's the question. So if somebody, a doctor, wants to move to a different country, when do you think is the right time for that?
After you finish your undergraduation,
Where's the place? Yeah.
because you need to do your post-graduation in a different country. Thereby, you're more qualified, you're getting more pay, you're more respected, and it's a different niche then.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're allowed to work all over the world. Easily you can get it of it. Why do you want to continue and finish your post-graduation in India?
Then what again as
If you want to pursue your career somewhere else, no, don't do that. Finish your MBBS. During your MBBS, prepare for all the courses, whichever country you need to move in, and then make the move.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Because many doctors who've done a post-graduation from India wanted to move to a different country, they struggle. Because then they need to finish another rounds of experiences. Just after finishing their post-graduation, they cannot move because now there are
So many exams, so many boards you have to clear. You need to start over.
Yes, yes. Because you're coming back to the level of a post-MBBS doctor. Yes.
Now, because you have the internet, you can Google through everything. It's not that difficult anymore. Yes. You can just go through all the boards of what you have to go through. And there's so many groups on Facebook and Instagram, the kind of people that could help you to do what you want to do. And then you can move. Like Australia is a good choice. America is a lovely choice.
Yeah. Yeah, USA, Delhi.
UK is not bad, but it is still valid. Maybe you can go study there and probably then move to a different country. But by working, NHS is not that correct.
Correct. And also, right now, there is a lot of job saturation going on in UK, making it a little more harder compared to earlier times, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure NHS is doing that great anymore.
Not anymore. And many doctors who've done PLAB, I know them personally, and I get a lot of messages also telling that, how can we come to Dubai? Because they are tired of applying to UK and we're not finding a job.
So is it like a GP or a specialist?
So people write PLAB and then they want to move to work after MBBS. And while working there, they apply for the training there. So that's what they do when they go to UK. So that itself is hard because they are not able to find a regular GP job, like normal post-MBBS job, the junior doctor jobs there.
Okay.
Yeah. And also whoever has got into it, it take a lot of time to enter the training because they want doctors to work at that level for as longer times. Because once you get into training, they're going to finish it and run away.
No, I think if you need to focus and your point is to leave the country and go to a different country, you need to start early.
Yeah. Thereby, usually something very important our listeners should know about this. So coming to that, so what is the one major difference that you see in the practice in Dubai and India? And the patient relationship or the working culture, what is it?
The one big difference that I see here is the doctors are also treated as humans.
Yeah. Okay. Not killed up there.
Like the first time I was a bit sick here and they gave me a sick leave, I literally teared off because no one has asked me ever when I worked in India for 8 years, are you okay? Do you want a holiday? Nobody, never.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I first came here, like about a month into working in the hospital, I got a bit sick and then I had a call from the department saying you can leave, can take a sick leave. That made me so happy. Okay. So there is a very good work-life balance here. And I'm so thankful for that. Again, patients are lovely. Very respectful. Yeah, very understanding. Most of them are educated also. So the communication is also easier. It is a bit demanding because all of them are educated. So the questions they ask you,
Yeah.
you have to explain a lot regarding each and everything. But that helps you grow also.
Correct. You need to have a little more patience.
Yes.
And a little more communicating skills, right?
Yeah. Because they would Google up everything now.
Yeah. Oh my God. They will come and ask me, doctor, my lymphocyte count and monocyte count is high. What should I do? I am like, God, give me the patience to answer this.
I have patients who come with TikTok videos. Oh, really? Do you think this works? Do you think this works?
And these are the amount of supplements that the people here take. They come up with some weird name selling. I'm taking this. Do you know what this? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what this is. I say that.
Again, please don't follow TikTok for all your medical needs.
Yeah.
Consult a doctor, at least your family doctor, and then do the needful. Don't just take loads and loads of multivitamins just thinking it's going to make you beautiful. That's not how it works.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So now, do you feel there is any kind of discrimination from the nationalities here to the other people that immigrants are living here, be it in workplace or in general?
Again, coming from my point of view, I never had a problem like that. So I cannot comment on that. I was lucky maybe. But maybe if you think about someone with a poor economic background, on a lower level job, yes, I think I see a lot of discrimination.
And also maybe in hospitals which are more management different or something like that will be a different judge which you might not have encountered.
Yes, I haven't encountered anything like that.
Makes sense. Okay. So what is one advice that you would give to young doctors who are planning to move to Dubai?
Plan properly. Be patient. Okay? Write the proper exams. Go through the proper channels because there's a lot of recruiters who lie. There's lots of fake offices where they make this fake job offers. Yes.
I got a message from my senior asking, Ajila, I got a job offers from Dubai. Is that it? I'm like, this is not an offer. It's a recruitment agency sending to you.
Yes. So you have to be extra careful. You have to probably look through research what you want. Focus on what you want. Give it a timeline. Be patient.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people, they just come, try it for like 1 month. They come on a visa. They come, they don't even do their research. They just take their CVs and go around looking for a job.
Doesn't work.
A week or so, and then they go back disappointed. That's not how job works. You need to make a plan, research. If your friends here, call them up, find out if there's any openings. Open a good page on LinkedIn. Have a good page in Naukri.com. Make a good CV.
Yes.
A proper crisp CV. Upload that and then work on it. Come here, look around, see if you like the country first. Just because a friend comes to this country doesn't mean you...
And there's a lot of Dubai blame. Don't make that the reason.
No.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to live the Dubai blame.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not everybody's going to come here and end up rich.
Yes.
You are going to struggle. You need to do your own cooking. You need to do your own cleaning.
Tell me about it. Expenses.
You need to find a place to stay. You need to find a driving license, which is going to be a big...
Very important.
Yeah. And then you need to start looking for a job. Be patient. Again, be patient, be focused. Take interviews. You would land up in a job. Just don't come here thinking negative, thinking, okay, I'm in India and I'm not going to get a job. There's so many Indians here. Everybody's doing good.
Yeah. As do you think that trying to get a job directly from India will work? Because many people ask me that.
For a nursing job, it's much easier. Being a doctor, no. Because there are no many doctors here who's actually looking for a job. So why would they pick someone who's already in India?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Correct. Yeah, very true. So, and also, what do you think about is the career growth in Dubai for doctors or anybody in the healthcare industry?
Career growth, yeah. There's not much of a career growth. There's not much of a pay raise. You need to grow your own career. You need to make your own social media profile. You need to have the word of mouth and the patient referrals, thereby make your own patient base. If you jump to a better job because you have a good name in this job, you probably can grow. But truly speaking, I don't see much of a career growth here.
Yes. And is it because of the corporate nature of the working background in Dubai, or what do you have to tell about that?
I think it's just the scope of the job.
Joe.
Yeah.
Mm.
There is no set rules like every year you get an appraisal. This is what you do and this is how you get promoted. Nothing like that here. There is no set rules here.
Understood.
Yeah. Again, if you have proper contacts and you know people and then you're pretty talented and pretty smart, yes, you can grow bigger. But otherwise, you're just going to stay the same.
Understood. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we are pretty much coming to the end of this questionnaire. So I think this is one important lesson that all of our viewers should understand. Coming to Dubai is not a cakewalk. And Dr. Sheena has spoken to us about her experiences, how she had a practice and also a hospital and a huge setup within her whole family. And she chose to come here, struggled and land a job here. And I think you're pretty much happy after all these years of going through that work, right? And so keep that in mind. You will have to come to this country, make contacts, and struggle for a few years to make a name of your own here, because it's a highly competitive and saturated market here. Anything we would like to add on?
Nice talking to you. Thank you for inviting me over.
It's my pleasure, and thank you so much for coming once again. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.